ముందు ఇగో మాట్లాడు.
Hello. Am I audible? Chaitanya Garu, please test. So, audio okay? Hello. Hello.
Attendance. Sir, is our sir audible, sir? Ravi sir.
Yeah, audible, sir.
అంటే నేను బ్రేక్ ఏం రావట్లేదు కదా సార్, కంటిన్యూస్ గా వస్తుంది.
The voice is audible now. Voice is audible. Continuous.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Okay.
నమస్కారం కామేశ్వరరావు గారు. Good to see you. Namaste, madam. I joined. Namaste, madam. Namaste, madam.
నమస్తే అండి నమస్తే
Just will wait for another 5 minutes. లేదు ఇంకో 5 minutes, madam. Just another 5 minutes. Okay. I will inform you, madam.
ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
Okay.
సౌండ్ తగ్గించి
Students, you are requested to remain in mute. Only the speakers will speak. Thank you.
Yes, sir, we are waiting for you.
I'll be reaching in 5 minutes on the way. Meanwhile, you start.
Okay, okay. Please come.
Right.
Start. Thank you.
I am on the way. Yeah, you can start. No problem.
We will start at 3:15, sir. Two more minutes.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
Maybe in 2 minutes I may reach also. Anyhow, you can start. No problem. I'll be straight coming to EC hall since you are sitting in EC hall.
Yes, sir.
Right. Give a brief introduction about other. Meanwhile.
Yeah. That's what
Your opening remarks.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing that. All that. Starting with the known places. Nice. Madam, another just 1.5 minutes.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Okay. Still our country has to go a long way, sir. Still students are facing network issues. It's not simple. I don't know where. Because some of them I think may not be in the university campus. Many people are saying they're not able to join because of the network issues. But for them we have provided a YouTube link. Some people have joined there in the YouTube link as well.
Participants ఎంతమంది అండి?
As of now, about 200, sir.
Okay.
Anyway, sizable strength we have not to start our proceedings, but still we expect more. At least we are expecting at least 500 people. 500. There is many people. Arts college, sir. Arts college for the first time we are introducing today. Science college is also there, sir. For them it is a second batch. Science college after this inauguration, they will be joining straight away the class. But today's inauguration is for the first time we are doing it for the arts college. We are introducing this course around 19 departments of arts college. So that is the
19 academic departments.
Academic departments. Yes.
MBA లేదా దాంట్లో?
MBA is also included. MBA and M.Com both.
MBA included.
Yes, MBA and M.Com.
ఇప్పుడు ఏ సెమిస్టర్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఇది?
Third semester, sir.
థర్డ్ సెమిస్టర్.
Yes, sir.
మరి మా MBA సుమారు ఒక 200 మంది ఉంటారా?
They are around, I think, there are about 200 people list they have sent, shared the link also with them. The CS.
MBA 200 ఉంటాయి. మరి HOD మాట్లాడమన్నారు, mandatory course. Your attendance also will be taken.
Yes.
And unless you put up attendance of 75%, you will not be given credits and చెప్పండి అన్నమాట.
Okay.
అంటే అట్లీస్ట్ సేక్ ఆఫ్ అటెండెన్స్ అయినా జాయిన్ అయ్యి మధ్యలో విన్నా కొంత అవేర్నెస్ వస్తుంది.
That is true.
Our objective is fulfilled.
Yes, sir. Anyone from MBA class here?
ఏంటంటే ఎలాగైపోయిందంటే అది ఏదో మన మేలు గురించి మనం ఏదో చేస్తున్నట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది తప్ప స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ మోటివేటెడ్ కంప్లీట్లీ recognize the importance of IPR.
That is
ఇప్పుడున్న వాళ్ళకి they realize once they get opportunity
That's
Then
true.
only they realize.
Yeah, yeah.
Any employer ask what is IPR and what is the IPR culture. Then only they realize. What is relevance. How they misuse the right?
how they
Yes,
misuse
Option I am downstairs.
Okay.
I'll be.
Yeah, please, please, sir.
I'll be joining.
That is why we requested you to address so that all these people get motivated.
See this. How I don't know to motivate in the afternoon. After class work.
Class work, sir, 4 to 5, sir. Regular class.
It is not 2 ఎందుకంటే మనకి 1:30కి అయిపోతాయి క్లాసులు అన్ని.
ప్రిన్సిపల్ గారు అదే చెప్పారు.
What will they do? Even they can have a nap, half an hour and get ready.
Yes, sir.
Post lunch.
Yeah, we are very accommodated, sir. We wanted to go to their doorsteps and help them to learn all these new knowledge and tips in this knowledge economy. Important. But as you said, they have to realize. Okay, dear friends, ఇది మైక్ అవసరం లేదు కదా, డైరెక్ట్ ఇదే. My dear students, faculty members, and guests for this today's afternoon inaugural program. I'm very much delighted to announce the inauguration of IPR classes for Arts, Commerce, Management and Science PG courses of Andhra University, organized by Center for Intellectual Property Rights of Andhra University. The IPR classes are also open to PG students of Dr. V.S. Krishna Government Degree College, Visakhapatnam, in this semester, as they have made a special request to the Honorable Vice Chancellor. I cordially welcome the guests of honor, Professor V. Krishnamohan Garu, Registrar, Andhra University, and Professor K. Samatha Madam, the Rector and in charge Principal, College of Arts and Commerce, for this inaugural event virtually. Friends, you are all aware, IPR is very important in the knowledge-based economy, but many of us do not know how and where to get this IPR knowledge. Our beloved and eminent Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor PVGD Prasad Reddy Garu, has the vision to foresee things and global developments and the important role played by IPR in the knowledge and innovation-driven economy. And he has introduced for the first time in the Indian state universities the IPR course in the curriculum as a mandatory skill development credit course across all courses offered by the university, so that our university students are at par with the global best students in this domain. We are implementing his vision on a phased manner. You will be surprised to know that IPR is everywhere like the air what we breathe, but we don't recognize it, Without IP creation, protection, commercialization, societies cannot develop, they cannot move forward, From the Stone Age to today's technology age, we reached only because of advancements in the science, technology, innovation, and intellectual property rights. So whatever products we are using or the services the society is using, they're all embraced with intellectual property rights. Therefore, it is important for all the students to understand various dimensions of the intellectual property rights. Basically, there are 8 types of intellectual property rights exist, which basically drive they are like the patents. They are basically patents are very important for scientific inventions, trademarks which are used in the business, copyrights, industrial designs, geographical indicators, integrated circuit designs, layouts, and farmers' rights and plant varieties. These are the different types of intellectual property rights which we are going to teach you. Me and my team at Center for Intellectual Property Rights would be interacting with you over the next semester and make you understand all the important aspects related to intellectual property rights what are these intellectual property rights, why they are important, what benefits one will get, how they can be used, for the social good. So all along with me, our team, we are also inviting a lot of industry experts to share their perspectives on this subject, because intellectual property rights, involves technical, commercial, legal aspects. So one person cannot do justice in teaching, this subject. So that is why it is a highly multidisciplinary approach, and we have been inviting a lot of industry experts so that our students will get practical hands-on experience on various matters related to intellectual property rights. My dear friends, today we have with us two eminent teachers as guest of honor. One is Professor V. Krishna Mohan, Registrar of Andhra University, and Professor K. Samatha Madam, the Rector and in charge Principal of AU College of Arts and Commerce, who do not require any introduction because of their accomplishments in their own field. I can only say that they are very accomplished leaders in their profession, and they have been recognized as the best teachers, by the government. What more you need to say that they are accomplished leaders, I have requested both of them to inspire you and bless you all so that you will be graduated out from this great university with the required hard skills, soft skills, with good human values. That is what is very, very important in the current technology world. And you be successful in your life. May I now request Professor B. Krishna Mohan Garu, our Registrar, Andhra University, to deliver his message. Professor Krishna Mohan Garu.
Thank you, Professor Purushottam, IPR Chair, and also online you can see our Rector Madam, Professor Samatha from Physics, also Principal in charge, College of Arts and Commerce. So since this program is meant for Arts and Commerce students, so her presence definitely makes a difference. Apart from rector job, she is also holding principal responsibility. Therefore, our advice to arts students would influence and make them very committed for learning IPR knowledge. And importance of IPR needs no emphasis, as explained by our IPR chair, Professor Purushottamji. As all of you are aware, both economic and social development depends on the nature of the new products launched into an economy, and also that changes lifestyles of individuals. That is how social impact and economic impact will be there, which can be linked to IPR activity in a society. That IPR is nothing but protecting the creative ability of an individual so that lifelong, within a stipulated period at least, individual, whoever patents, will get revenue as a reward. So when you make use of your intellectual ability, and which is distinctive, which is useful to others and society, when you protect your intellectuality through IPR right, definitely that is going to be helpful not only for you, for the institution where you invent this and patent this, and when commercialization is done to that stage, if you take through a process, definitely in the business development leads to economic acceleration, leading to economic development of a country. In a global level competitive environment, whatever new products that are coming into the market, unless they are protected, very easily they are copied. And all that research which will lead to invention would go waste if you do not protect. That is how, to begin with, we first tried with professional students as a mandatory IPR course, and taking a cue from them, we thought every student, whoever is studying on campus, needs orientation towards IPR, IPR process, and IPR culture, which we are able to create on the campus by giving due importance. Ever since this IPR chair is instituted at Andhra University, with the help of Government of India, we always feel great that this is an opportunity given apart from IITs and IIMs of national importance institutions. It is only the conventional university, Andhra University, that was given this great facility. And this IPR is going to facilitate students, first of all, in creating awareness so that they are interested in learning further details. The process of IPR needs definitely elaborative knowledge, right from filing, registration, and maintaining IPR for a duration, and renewal it further if necessary. What are the stages? What are the procedures involved? And as Purushottam rightly said, there are certain technical aspects, there are certain general aspects, right? There are certain economic aspects. What are these technical, general, and economic aspects which go into IPR process? How it can be a beneficial activity both from inventor side and industry which uses such invention, and also the institution where such invention happened. So always this triangle, there are three parties in the process, and unless we work together, the IPR is not going to happen practically. And why India is lagging behind in terms of IPR registrations and licenses? It is all because of lack of awareness, and the students during their studies, they are not sensitized, they are unaware. Although we are producing highly intellectual ideas which are culminating into innovation of products, new products, somebody else is patenting, somebody else is copying. So how we can protect our intellectuality, how we can control copying of our idea by others? The solution is only taking IPR. Such a crucial activity, unfortunately, has missed the focus till recently. And there are many research students, many faculty who always used to work, produce excellent papers, focus on only research, but the outcome is never patented, is one great deficiency this Andhra University till now. Unfortunately, it happened almost 90 over years, and the only department that used to patent few engineering and pharmacy. Except these two, no other academic department was giving due emphasis to IPR activity. So with the help of IPR chair, we wanted to create and sensitize. First, to begin with, creating awareness among all campus students. And now you will be glad to know that some of the colleges are showing keen interest to take our classes and make their students sensitive towards IPR even at graduate level. So there is enormous potential in India, given the size of population, the number of patents that we are able to produce every year is gradually on the rise. This is all because of the efforts like IPR chair here at Andhra University. Ever since he has taken the reins, I think this year over 58, 58 patents they are filed. And it is not only patent filing, you need to take them to different levels. And the filing as well as taking them to different levels. What is the fourth level? Commercialization. You know, in ranking of a university, how many of your patents are there in a year, during a decade? How many of them are commercialized is going to be a matter of great concern, and that fetches better ranking vis-a-vis other institutions in the country. I have gone to Purdue University recent past. I have seen in the entire world, Purdue is the fourth ranked university in terms of number of patents possessed by them, number of patents filed by them year over year. So taking cues from them, we realized unless we also give due importance to IPR activity, and much talked about activity on the campus is incubation, startup, entrepreneurship development. And these are all connecting subjects. You know, one need not be an innovator. And if you are innovative, you can start your own business, or you can give this innovation to somebody else who is a prospective entrepreneur. So as a team, probably on the campus, already more than 50 startups have come up, and 4 startups already commercialized technology products. So that is how this sensitization definitely would go a long way in building ecosystem on the campus. So if you look at not only IPR activity in the backdrop, as a result of IPR activity, you are all going to involve in the process of commercializing such ideas, and the difficulties that you experience, and the demands of information that you are going to get from different sources, and the kind of mentoring that you require. You know, this is how people who wanted to stand on their own, definitely they need orientation on these dimensions. As a result, they are not employment seeking individuals, they are all employment providers. So it will go a long way in building that ecosystem on the campus. Ever since our Honorable Vice Chancellor has realized the role and importance of IPR on one side, incubation on the other side, these are the two eyes which can be understood as important activities. Like if you want to push a cart, it needs 2 wheels on either side. So IPR and incubation, they go together hand in hand. So once you realize, once you realize the importance of IPR, eventually it lead to commercialization of products, either by you or by somebody else. In both cases, you are all going to gain. And innovation does not mean something that is invented in a laboratory. It can be an idea, a good idea leading to a good product, a good service, right? So, what is the scope of IPR? What is the process involved in filing IPR? How do we search? How do we validate? How do we get our idea as an innovative idea, unique idea, within the framework of IPR can be registered? Once the registration is done, award of IPR, and eventually leading to the fourth stage of commercialization and all intricacies involved. Earlier it used to be considered as highly technical subject. Now, such a complex and technical subject is simplified and offered in simple modules to begin with, creating awareness up to that stage. Therefore, whatever fundamentals that are given as a part of this mandatory course definitely enables all of you in understanding and appreciating, sensitizing in all of you IPR, not only for yourself, you can also propagate the idea what this IPR and its role and importance that contributes to the institutional development, economic development, social development, which are linked. So if you look at IPR of China, of even Australia, IPR of USA, definitely they are far higher. Although the population size of Germany, UK, Australia, even New Zealand, Netherlands, Korea, small business organizations, they come out with highly innovative products and patent. So the size of population, probably the number of patents that are filed in India, they are very less and disproportionate. How do we make our presence in the global market when IPR is so low? Maybe the reason why the government of India, even government of Andhra Pradesh, you will be glad to know that the policy drafted by Andhra University under the stewardship of Professor Purushottam has become a document of IPR policy of the state of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra University is a leader university in taking all other sister universities towards IPR activity. And we are guiding them, and we drafted this policy. This policy is announced as state policy. So we are model agency. If I remember correctly, we are given the role as a nodal agency for enhancing IPR activity in the state of Andhra Pradesh. In any dynamic society, IPR should also be proportional. It cannot be disproportionate to the size of population, to the size of industrial activity. Otherwise, you get the brand name that India is also one country where products are Me Too products, not innovative products. Once upon a time, Chinese used to have the same brand image. The Chinese normally copycats and they copy anything that is released in the market in no time and produce similar products, and sometimes infringement of IPR rights. Such a bad reputation they used to have, but with a little concern, all of you know how China in less than 2 decades come to the present stage. And with a little more effort, I believe India can also become highly competitive economy, compete globally with the intellectuality that is available. I am told in the entire world, average Indian intelligence is also far superior than anybody else. You'll be glad to know that we are second to none in the world. You go anywhere in the world market, there are Indians in a highly coveted positions. You'll be glad that Prime Minister level person is also an Indian, and who ruled in India for 200 long years. They are under the ruling of an Indian. Is a proud moment that all Indians need to celebrate. So if there is a concern, if there is a commitment, if there is a dedication, if there is hard work, if there is perseverance, nothing is impossible in this world. Is a word of advice I wanted to give. And if you realize the role and importance of IPR, study on your own with the help of the guidelines given through this online and create in yourself that I need to file patents, and number of patents that you file is going to make you popular. One need not be a great scientist to find out, innovative products, and there are simple innovations, there are continuous upgradations, and all of these are the scope of intellectual property. Therefore, my to all of you, take these lessons with all that sincerity and enlarge your knowledge, not only in the domain knowledge, and this is also very, very essential to enhance your domain knowledge towards innovation, incubation, startup, and finally to turn yourself into successful entrepreneurs. The knowledge in IPR would go a long way in building all of you would-be entrepreneurs or successful entrepreneurs. In the process, you may come across several challenges, but how do we face such challenges? You can think over right from the, campus as a student, when you get into the world market, and all those difficulties, definitely challenges you are going to experience, but you need to build such skill sets to make all of you successful, make our economy very successful, and build our society with pride in the world market, that Indians can also contribute for the life standards, living standards, lifestyles of the global level market. We can take part global level market only when you increase and enhance our IPR activity. There is a direct relationship between our presence in the world market and our IPR activity. So this is the importance in today's context. Therefore, my sincere advice to all of you, you need to involve yourself, engage yourself, try to do all that homework necessary in enhancing your knowledge and IPR activity. I take the opportunity, since this is the first class, I wish all of you a very happy learning, productive learning, and for building your own career very bright in the years to come. Thank you, Purushottam. Thank you all participants for listening to me.
Thank you.
Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Professor Krishna Mohan Garu, for your wonderful, very insightful address and blessings to our students. Professor Krishna Mohan has touched the kind of skills you need to acquire as a student, and he also very clearly said, what our country needs. Seekers, we should all become employment generators, employment creators. That is possible only if you are able to create new IPs. New IPs means the new ideas. You need to come out with new ideas and protect those ideas as per the frameworks of the intellectual property rights, so that you will be the owner of that knowledge. So once you got the ownership of that knowledge, you can start a company and bring that product and service to the market. So once you got a rights on your knowledge, that is what government gives you, a 20 years exclusive right if you got a patent granted. During the 20 years, no one can copy that product or that service, without your permission. If somebody copies, you can go to the court and get an injunction on them saying that someone has copied or infringed your intellectual property right. So that is what is important for all of you to understand. So he has given you a wonderful blessings to all of you. Please follow each and every word, whatever is spread out by Krishna Mohan. They all came out of his vast experience as a marketing teacher. There are many students of him have been occupied many top positions in the corporate world. So based on his experience, based on his teachings, so what a student should learn, understand, and acquire as a student, he has very clearly elaborated, articulated. So please listen to his advice and follow. Definitely you will be a successful citizen of this country. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and
I also thank all of you.
insightful suggestions to all our students. Now I request our rector madam, Professor Samata Madam Garu. Again, as I told you, she is a rector of, most of you are aware of the kind of the services, the kind of administrative decisions, all these VC garu, Registrar garu, Rector Madam were taking and putting the institute in a global position, they are really putting a lot of hard work, and in fact, their hard work is motivation for people like us to contribute and commit ourselves for the betterment of the university and betterment of our students. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor always says that we should be able to work around the students. Because of students only we are all here. You are a student centric university, and all the entire administration is working for you. Take a clue from all these experiences, from our wisdom, guest of honor today, try to implement them, get the benefit out of their experiences. We are all here to provide any kind of support, guidance, mentorship throughout your student career, even beyond that. So make use of this wonderful opportunity. Madam also very accomplished professional, and she is also a physics professor. Physics is one of the core subject, and many great Nobel prizes, are being given across the globe, in the area of physics. Sir C.V. Raman, who is the first Nobel Prize winner from the second Nobel Prize winner from our country, who got his Nobel Prize for his Raman effect. He was a alumni of this department, So Madam shares that pride always whenever she talks about innovation IP. She takes inspiration from him, and at those days we were not having an IPR center like this, what we are having. Had we had such kind of IPR awareness those days, probably Andhra University would have got a good patent on the Raman spectra and Raman spectrophotometer. So had we got a patent on that, Andhra University would have been one of the richest universities in the world, because some of our faculty, students invented that Raman effect. Out of that Raman effect, Raman spectrophotometer has been made, invented. Without a Raman spectrophotometer, there is no research at all in any of these sciences, basic sciences. Such is the wonderful contribution made by our Andhra University alumni, Professor Sir C.V. Raman. And Madam inherits that legacy from that department. I request Madam to bless all our students, to get that kind of a right insights into their subject and life, so that they will become a useful citizens of this country. Madam, floor is yours.
Thank you, sir, for your words of appreciation about me. So, respected Registrar, Andhra University, Professor V. Krishna Mohan Garu, Intellectual Property Rights convener of this program, Purushottam Garu, Professor H. Purushottam Garu, and students. And Good afternoon to all. Already our registrar delivered an excellent message on IPR and the importance of IPR, and created awareness among students, because he is from management side. Thank you, sir. It is heartening to note that Andhra University has become the first university in our country to introduce a mandatory credit course on intellectual property rights for all disciplines for postgraduate students under DPIIT, that is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is Scheme for Pedagogy and Research in Intellectual Property Rights for Holistic Education and Academia, and in accordance with the National Education Policy 2020. The entire credit to launch of this course goes to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.V.G. Prasad Reddy Garu, who has been making relentless efforts since the establishment of IPR chair on the campus, and for giving such a useful subject the importance it deserves. Student community stands benefited immensely by the salient features of this new course. Intellectual property is an asset in the form of creativity of human mind. Before going into innovation or innovative ideas, which forms the basis for intellectual property, let us discuss what is invention. and what is innovation, and what is the basic difference between them. Invention is something which does not exist in the universe before and created for the first time as a result of creative ideas emanating from human mind. Innovation or innovative ideas can be ideas about the existing things or modified things. Innovation basically has to do with avoidance of stereotype and creating the already existing thing contrary to established norms and procedures. Innovation may involve procedures like how some existing product or demand-oriented brand in the market can be made more quickly, more economically, involving less labor charges and fewer machine hours. For example, a lot of transformation has taken place in the area of filmmaking. Cinematic effects, graphics, and all such things are the result of innovative ideas over the years. Innovative ideas constitute the raw material for startups. In the present day scenario of bleak employment opportunities, youth have increasingly turning to startups. For those who are in search of greener pastures across the world, startups are the best bet. Innovation in industries in moving at a rapid pace. As entrepreneurs in the making, young graduates and postgraduates have to catch up and keep pace with the speed with which innovation is racing ahead. Keeping in mind such exigencies, our Honorable Vice Chancellor made the subject part of academic curriculum with a lot of foresight. IPR promotes foreign direct investment and technology transfers in developed and developing countries. IPR system aims to foster an environment in which creativity and innovation can flourish. Intellectual property protection is equally important because this protection is critical to fostering innovation. Without protection of ideas, businesses and individuals would not reap the full benefits of their creativity. All students are requested to give special emphasis to this new subject of global importance and attain mastery over the subject and keep abreast of the latest trends and market strategies to stay ahead of others in the present world of cutthroat competition. The student community and the teaching fraternity should take the plunge into this subject and get themselves acquainted with all provisions of IPR and should become a source of inspiration for others in the field of higher education. We are fortunate enough to have on the campus an IPR chair manned by a knowledgeable professor H. Purushottam Garu, who is well conversant with the subject and the procedure for filing intellectual property returns and other aspects. Professor Purushottam Garu is very instrumental in bringing the atmosphere of patent culture on the campus, and because of him and his team's dedication, we are able to get a significant number of patents, and all of you can make use of our IPR facility to the optimum level. Professor Purushottam Garu will elaborate more on the subject of IPR. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in this program to launch IPR as part of I take this opportunity to request all participants of this virtual coverage to the coverage subject. I thank the organizers of this program for making me part of it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam, for your kind words of appreciation for me and my team and all the students for your good wishes. Definitely, we will make use of this opportunity to realize goals and objectives set forth by the university management, creating wonderful human resources. Because as we all aware, intellectual property is one of the important skill set our students should possess if they want to become and contribute well to the corporate world in terms of new inventions, new innovations, new products and services to the market. As Krishna Mohan said, the market, in the global market, we want to compete, we should have a good number of intellectual property rights. We are all very much behind compared to many of the even the smaller countries. And definitely, the decision taken by the Andhra University top management in this direction is a very visionary decision, and we are all definitely contribute our might.
Your voice is not audible, sir.
Oh, it's not audible, madam.
Not audible, sir.
Oh, not audible, madam. Okay. But we wanted to thank you for your support, guidance, and motivation to all of us as a team or as a part of the top management of Andhra University. We always cherish to work with you and your kind words of appreciation to me and all my team members. So definitely we will do our best in delivering what is expected out of the Center for Intellectual Property Rights. So we'll do it, madam. Thank you very much for your good wishes.
Again, not audible, sir.
Again, not audible. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, when? Your voice is audible to me, but I don't know what is happening.
Audible to all of us.
Okay, it is audible to all of you.
We are able to hear, sir. I think
Audible, sir.
their locality.
Okay, could be, yeah. But anyway, we want to thank you from our heart for all your support and good wishes, not only to our team and entire student community. And we definitely try to deliver our best, what the university management put on our shoulders, madam. That is what I wanted to convey to you. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Ravi, you can just briefly conclude it by proposing vote of thanks. Then we start our class for the regular students.
Yes, sir. I would like to present a vote of thanks for Professor V. Krishna Mohan Garu, Registrar of Andhra University, for taking his time out and enlightening us with what's happening in today's market. Sir has explained very clearly what is the role of IP that plays in today's world, today's knowledge economy. Heartily thank you, sir, for your time and your direction. I would also like to present my vote of thanks to Honorable Rector, Madam. She herself being the acting principal of College of Arts and Commerce. This is an introductory session for Arts and Commerce students. Introducing IPR itself presents a lot of awareness among arts and commerce students, and we see that the intellectual property rights plays in three different legally for the management students as well as the students who practice arts, not just sciences and technology, but in three different ways. So everybody can make use of this intellectual property rights course, and they can enrich their knowledge about IPR. Thank you, madam. Thank you heartily for taking your time out and blessing us with your presence here. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our honorable vice chancellor, who is not yet present here, but his blessings are always with us. Thank you, sir. Thank you for allowing us to be part of Andhra University ecosystem and to bring about this awareness to all the students and the academic community here. we look forward to have more awareness sessions with all the other researchers of the Andhra University as well. We look forward to have the IPR classes. Reach out to as many students as possible. We will already started with bachelors for CSE and IT students. We are reaching out to M.Pharma students as well, and we are now reaching out to all the other PG students of Andhra University. Thank you all for everybody for your brief introduction and directions. I hereby conclude this vote of thanks with my sincerest regards. Thank you, sir. Now the session, now the regular classes will start. The first class will be taken by Professor H. Purushottam, sir. It is about the introduction to IPR. Sir will continue taking the class. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Sir, you are not audible, sir. You're on mute, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ravi, for proposing vote of thanks. I would like to only urge all the students, to raise doubts and questions at the end of the session. That is very, very important. Because for science technology people, intellectual property rights is they will be having some knowledge. For arts and commerce and management students, perhaps they may not have heard any time, intellectual property rights. So when the class is over, immediately after that, there is a question answer session wherein you should ask questions, what way IPR is related to your field. For example, you're in a dance, MA dance or MA music or MA fine arts or MA psychology. So what is the benefit of reading IPR for me? You please tell us, you should ask us basic fundamental questions. We want you to make, aware IP literates as what our aim as part of this program. We don't want you to expect, become an expert at the end of this semester, but you should have a thorough knowledge so that you will be able to communicate in the corporate world during tea time, coffee time, lunch time, boardroom meetings, all these places, they nowadays, the much talked after subject is intellectual property right. So you should acquire all this basic knowledge about intellectual property rights. That is what we aim at. So what is required is that unless you ask questions, we will not be able to deliver to you up to your satisfaction. So the question answer sessions are very, very important. There is a chat box also. If you are not able to ask question, you can also put it in the chat box and we will be able to answer. But make use of this opportunity. I find many times, the students are very shy. They are not coming forward to ask questions. But after constant persuasion and if somebody started asking questions, then there were many questions, raised by other students. So you should also take lead and try to raise many questions at the end of the class so that the subject can be, customized to meet your requirements to make use, how to make use of this IP related to your own field. That is what is very, very important for all of you. Please take this opportunity and raise questions. That depends, in fact, rather that makes you more knowledgeable in this area. Simply listening is not sufficient. You have to interact. And we want to make these sessions very interactive. So wherever you have got a doubt, you can ask us to stop in between also, or you can put your doubts in the chat box, or at the end of the class also you can ask. So not only you will benefit, many other students also will get benefit out of your doubt. So that is how we all acquire knowledge. So please be curious and ask questions at the end of the class. Without, if the class is ended without question answers, I don't think it is a class. It's a monotonous, only one-sided thing. It will not produce any useful outcomes. So now, maybe after 5 minutes break, we will start our class, and I would like to thank once again our guest of honors for today's inaugural program, Mr. Krishna Mohan Garu and Professor Sampa Madam Garu, for their excellent words of wisdom, guidance, mentoring, and their heartful blessings to all of us, so that we will be able to give our best to the organizations wherever we are working, and ultimately to the society at large. Thank you, madam, and thank you, Krishnamohan Garu, for your kind support. Thank you so much. We'll meet 4:15. All the students, please stay back. We'll start our regular class at 4:15. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you. మీరు రాకపోతే Okay, my dear students, are you ready? Please mute yourself. Hello, lot of disturbance is coming.
Sir.
Shall we start? Ravi? Ravi, can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
We asked for 4:15, sir, but it is still 2 minutes time is there.
Okay, okay, that's fine. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Yeah. Sir.
Sir, hello?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my dear students, there are some announcements. I think my colleagues might have explained to you. As our registrar said,
Sir, sorry to.
minimum 75%
Hello?
attendance is required. Okay. Then there will be Google form. Okay. 420%. 1 minute, sir. Okay, I'll wait for the general thing I'm just mentioning. There will be a Google attendance sheet will be posted maybe after half an hour of the class by my other colleagues. So you need to fill that Google form and submit by and at the end of the class. The end of the class. Okay. So that will be taken as an attendance for all the participants. So please don't miss that submitting the Google form attendance today itself. If you don't submit, you will lose the attendance. That is very, very important. So please make a note. Submission of Google attendance is very, very important because the criteria is that as per the university direction, minimum 75% attendance is required to allow you to write the examination. So take it seriously, and we are putting the universities putting the best efforts to make you a useful citizens of this country. Whatever you are asking, the university is providing. Not only university is providing, universities also has a great vision, to produce quality human resources. So university is investing in all of you. So make use of it and acquire all the skills required to face this world of competitive world. In this competitive world, what matters is not the color, not the caste, not the creed, not the beauty of an individual. It all depends on the knowledge, depends on the skill sets what you possess, the kind of soft skills, the kind of hard skills, coupled with values. That is very, very important. So try to equip with all these skills so that you will face your life successfully. See, life is not a bed of roses, what many people say. Life is, there will be always challenges, problems. But how we can overcome those problems, how we can overcome those challenges, those difficulties, those stressful situations is only through using your mind, using your intellect. That is what is important. You people should not be afraid of, because of the challenges, because of the difficulties. Read many of the great people's autobiographies, you'll realize, you'll come to know
how they have overcome such kind of situations, In everybody's lives, the problems remain same. So how they have overcome those kind of difficulties, challenges in their lives. If you read those autobiographies, you'll get a lot of insights, a lot of courage, a lot of inspiration. So read them and apply them to your life also. Okay, so now let us start our class. Today's class is basically to motivate you why you should read intellectual property rights as a subject. As I told you, the way the air is encircled, encompassed all of us, without air, there is no life. The same way, without IP, there is no progress, there is no prosperity, there is no economic development. No, there is no enhancement in comfort of human life. So whatever society we are today, the technological era, compared from the Stone Age to till today, if you look at, we are enjoying those days. People used to die. Even the average lifespan is not more than 23 years. Today, if you see, the average lifespan is 71 years. So how this has all happened because of the inventions, the innovations, and the intellectual property rights what the society was able to create. So understanding the various dimensions of intellectual property right is very important. So to create an emphasis to motivate all of you, always we go by what experts, leaders said about IP. Let us see what the two great leaders said about IP. See, John Stroud, who is the chairman of a Quaker company. Quaker company is one of the biggest multinational product company. We are all, I think, using some of their products. The product which I use is Quaker oats. That is how I know about Quaker. What this chairman of this company said about the importance of IP is that if this business, their business were split up because of any reasons, I would give you the land, the bricks and mortar, and I would take the brands and trademarks. What are these brands and trademarks? There are nothing but intellectual property, intellectual property. And I would fare better than you. That is the kind of challenge he has thrown to his partners. Then, if you look at what the Coca-Cola company president said, we all know how big is the Coca-Cola company. It's a multinational company. What they said about the importance of intellectual property is that if each building, factory, office, car, truck owned would burn down in a moment, all these are all physical assets. The company could get back to operational rebuilding and buying everything lost in 1 year due to the value and profit generated by its intellectual property, namely the income generated by its trademarks, franchises, contracts, patents, licenses, etc. So these are the called intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights, as our elder says, they cannot be burned, they cannot be destroyed, they cannot be stolen. Knowledge, they are nothing but intellectual property. Whereas the physical assets, of any organization, they can be destroyed by several means, but not the intellectual property or the intellectual content, the intellectual value of the people or the knowledge. So that is why in all our education systems, since generations across the globe, they have been giving lot of importance for the development of the mind. Why we are all reading all these postgraduate courses, master's courses, PhDs? Because to strengthen our mind, strengthen the faculties of the mind, to think differently, to overcome, such kind of challenges when come to in our way of life. How to overcome those challenges? You can overcome those challenges only through using your brain, using your knowledge, using your confidence, using your experience. There are nothing but creation of the mind or strengthening of the mind. Education is basically to train your mind, to strengthen your mind to overcome such kind of challenges or difficulties may come in our life. So that is why the intellectual mind is very, very important. So how we can get that intellectual mind is by way of education and questioning the status quo. Questioning the status quo means, for example, you are doing certain things in a certain fashion, but you should, by using your mind, you should also question yourself. Is this the only way to do this job? Or are there any better ways of doing things? So if you start questioning and looking for solutions, you may get a better version, an improved version of way of doing things, which can reduce the drudgery, which can reduce the, the time, which can reduce the cost, which can reduce your human effort. There are so many things can be improved over the existing knowledge. So the moment if you are able to come out with such kind of an improved knowledge about existing knowledge, it is a matter of, it is a subject matter of intellectual property rights. Once you have created something new, something different, something beneficial over the existing knowledge, if you are able to prove that, yes, this is the current knowledge, what is being practiced. But based on my idea, based on my thought process, I have improved this way of doing thing by adopting my way of doing thing, by adopting my way of looking at or improve or using my technique or my instrument. You can get so many benefits if you prove it. That will be the subject matter of intellectual property, particularly the patents. We are going to talk also about different types of intellectual property rights. So what the very famous M.Sc, Gates is a computer man, and he has created the Microsoft. We all know that. If you look at, he is not even a graduate. He was a school dropout. Such is his education. So if you want to come out with an innovative idea, as our rector madam and our registrars have said, your mind is important, your creativity is important. Education is not an important thing at all. Of course, education is there, it helps you, it further focuses and further supports your invention idea, to put into practice. But if your idea is a original idea which can transform, there are many people to even refine it, put it into practice. So what is important is that, the creativity is very, very important. Coming out with a new idea is very, very important. So what he said to all his employees is that IP is no longer simply the legal department's prerogative. IP means intellectual property. Take care of if any care of legal issues or legal issues arise. But what is IP? But what is CEOs must now be able to formulate strategies that capitalize on and maximize the value of their company's intellectual property assets to drive growth, innovation, and cooperative relationship with other companies. So if you have got a strong IP, you can also cooperate with other companies, other competitors. The strength respect strength. So if you have got a strong IP, other competitors also will respect you. You can collaborate with them, and it is the no more a boardroom decision or a legal department's problem. It is IP is everyone's problem in the organization, so that the organization will develop. So another thought I would like to share with you is that the tangible and intangible assets. As we all know, or you should know if you do not know, tangible assets, intangible assets. What is the difference between tangible assets and intangible assets? Tangible assets are those which you can see physically, you can feel, touch, you can, all these properties will be having that kind of a characteristics will be there for a tangible assets, which you can see, feel, and they have got a shape and all those things, like the land, building, car, gold, all these things are what kind of assets? They are all tangible assets. Whereas intangible assets are which you cannot see, they will be residing in your mind. They are called intangible assets. They will not have any shape, they will not, you cannot feel them, you cannot see them, They're all called intangible assets. What are those? All these intellectual property rights, the 8 types of intellectual property rights, what we have discussed, the patent, trademark, copyright, GIs, of course, GIs may not be that way an intangible asset. GIs, one can, these are all products, one can see that. The way they make the products, the way they bring the difference, that is intangible, the knowledge component of it. So if you look at 1975 and today 2020, in 1975, if you look at any company's value, we have so many companies, Tata, Birla, all these NTPC, ONGC, Oil India, all these companies, in 1975, in a company, if you look at the value, so any company, we have to generally, in a commerce and business people, they know what is the value of the company. Value of the company used to be based on the tangible assets what the company used to have. And of course, the value of company lies in both tangible and intangible assets. So in 1975, around 83% of the company's value used to be in the tangible assets like buildings, cash, bonds, inventory, land, plant, machinery, etc. But today, if you see, most of these companies, Fortune 500 companies, if you look at it, 90% of the value of the company lies in the intangible assets. Only 10% of the company value lies in the tangible assets like land, building, plant, machinery, and the cash, etc. But the transformation is a phenomenal. So that is why what we call today is the knowledge economy. Knowledge is nothing but IP, intangible asset. So that's why we call today it is a knowledge economy or innovation-driven economy, which intangible assets are playing major role. 90% of the company value compared to 1975 is in intangible assets like patents, brand value, customer data, softwares, all these things are called trademarks. Brand value means trademarks. So these are all important today. So when a company value, 90% of the company value lies in the intangible assets like patents, trademarks, copyrights, designs. It is very, very important for all the employees also to understand how to create such kind of a intangible assets or intellectual property, and how to manage them, how to leverage them, how to make use of them, how to put them into use so that they can create value, they can create wealth, they can create employment opportunities, and ultimately development of socio-economic development of any nation. Hope you are very clear now. In 1975, if you look at any company's value, 83% of the company value used to be in the tangible assets like land, building, plant, machinery. But today, the scenario is totally different. Now, 90% of the company value lies in the intangible assets like patents, trademark, copyright. Why patents are important, why intangible assets are important, why intellectual property rights are important means 90% of the company value today, if you take any company, in that company, 90% of the company value lies in the intellectual property. So that is why it is very, very important for all of us to understand how to create this intellectual property, how to protect it, how to manage it, how to leverage for their commercialization so that you can create wealth, employment, opportunities. So basically, there are 5 W's in intellectual property rights. That is what we are trying to teach you in this course, 5 W's of IPS. What are they? Start with how to file IP or why to file IP. Why one should file IP. Once you file an IP, granting IP means unless you are in the world, you are an intellectual person, you have a different idea the first time, you have developed this idea, technology, then only you will get patent. Patent will not be given for each and every one, If you want to get a patent, that idea should be first of its kind in the entire world, then only you will get patent, So, you will get a name, fame, and get returns on your investment. You know, once you got a patent, you can sell that patent, you can license that patent, you can also get returns on it for technology advancements and knowledge sharing. That's why filing of IP is very important because it brings you name. For example, Einstein has got so many patents on his name. He invented the electric bulb, you know, so which we are all getting benefit from his invention. He got a patent for that. Like that, there are so whatever product or technology we are using today, they all got a patent. You know, they're all patented technologies. So that is why we are all able to remember who invented insulin. You know, insulin is a kind of an antibiotic. You know, which helps to improve your health from many diseases. No, they are all called inventions. They all got patents. That is why we are all able to remember them, you know, who invented all these basic needs of our life. So why you should file a patent? For your name, fame, and earn money out of your IP. And who can file IP? Of course, the person who has got a brilliant idea like Microsoft chief, you know. Though he was a college dropout, he made, you know, multi billions of money, or rather, he created an empire for himself in the area of computer field because of his innovative ideas. So, who can file an IP? Any natural person, legal entity, legal heirs of a deceased person. For example, like this knowledge also can be transferred from his legal eyes. You know, if a father invented something, and and that knowledge is available, that can be protected by his legal eyes also, and the benefits also they can get out of it. Professors, artists, poets, students, designers, anyone who has the bent of mind to create something new which is not existed, even a symbol, even a logo, even that kind of, that's what we call a trademark. So people who have got this mind to create, they all can file the IP. Different types of IP. Even a poets can file a IP. That is what we call copyrights. The students, the designers, anyone has got that kind of a creative mind, and if he's able to conceive, conceptualize, convert that idea into a workable, visible form of a product or a process or a sign or a logo, all they can be protected. Who can file IP? We are going to teach basically all these 5 W's of IPR in our entire semester. So, what is IP? What is IP means? This is a basic definition of IPs. IPs are creations of mind, as we discussed. Ideas to solve problems, which can be work of scientists, artists, musicians, literature people, design, and mainly innovative products and processes. So all these new products and new processes, new processes of the mind. So what is IP means? So what is IP means? Is the creation of the mind. What we should remember. Anyone asks, what do you know about IP? What is IP means? Using your brain, whatever you create. So that could be an IP. So when to file IP? In this entire process, when shall I file IP? That question may arise in many people's mind. Generally, once you have an idea or any creation in some tangible form, pen it down and file IP to protect your ideas and innovations. So, what is the right time? See, there are 2 stages one can file this IP. One is you have an idea, brilliant idea, you think no one has thought about it. So immediately you can file an IP application, which we call as a provisional application. So we are also going to teach you also what is provisional application, what is complete application. But when you file complete application is that once you converted your idea into a prototype, a tangible form from your idea, you conceived, conceptualized, and converted that or reduced into a tangible form, that is also, and tested it and got the benefits. You are able to demonstrate the benefits of your invention in a smaller scale, in a prototype scale. That is also a stage one should go for patent. One is you have got a brilliant idea. That is also the time you can file a provisional application. Provisional application means they will give you 1 year time after filing your application. They protect your idea not to be copied by any others up to 1 year. But if within 1 year, if you submit a complete specification telling this is my idea, this is how I converted this idea into practice, and putting that into practice, what kind of benefits it gives to the users, and what way it is inventive or that non-obviousness we need to establish. If you're able to prove that, then you can file a complete specification within that 12 months. After that, it will lapse and you will lose protection for your idea. So there are two types of applications you can file seeking protection for your ideas or the knowledge. One is at the idea stage, other one is the once you convert that idea into a tangible form or a prototype form. That is the at two stages you can file this patent or file your invention. So where to file? No, that is what is also important. You have an idea, it works, it is better than no one has thought about this idea, But who gives the rights to me and where should I file my application? That is also very important for all of you to learn. So you can file your application online in the IP offices portal as agent and as an applicant or also through hard copy as an applicant in the IP office in India. In India, we have 4 IP offices. One is in Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, and Mumbai. All these 4 places we have the IP offices. Depending upon the jurisdiction which we fall, all South Indian states have to file in the Chennai Patent Office. So we have to file the prescribed forms, prescribed process, and prescribed fees for filing this application. All these things also will be teaching you in our course. And ultimately, how this IP helps you. As we discussed already, it brings you name and fame. Goodwill, high valuation, reputation, first mover advantage in the market. All these things will benefit you if you protect your IP. So these are basically the why IP is important, where to file IP, when to file IP, what is IP, who can file IP. All these things we will be teaching you in a different modules, different classes through number of examples. And these are the forms of intellectual property right? As I mentioned to you in my inaugural address. What the government of India has as of now, has agreed upon based on many international treaties, we also in India recognized these 8 types of intellectual property rights. First and foremost is the patents, Patents are generally granted for the research, science, technology, engineering, In this, when you do a research, laboratory research, and found out some new formulas, new products, new processes, they all will be granted patents under the Patent Act 1970. So everything has to be approved by the government as a law. Then only you will get this protection, So Patent Act 1970, which was enacted and approved by the Parliament, gives all this protection. All our acts, have to be approved by the Parliament, which is the supreme authority in our country for making laws, rules, regulations, and acts, So that way, Patents Act 1970 was also approved by the Indian Parliament, So once it is approved, it becomes enacted as an act or a law, which is applicable to all citizens of our country. So this Patent Act talks or tells about, starting from the end-to-end solution, from what is a patent, how to get a patent, if patent is granted, what is the process of granting, how long it is valid, whether someone can oppose for granting of this patent, and can we protect this knowledge only in India or in outside India? All these things related to patent are very well articulated, described in the Patent Act 1970. So if you want to know anything and everything about patents, one should read this Patent Act. So whatever we are going to talk to you also, all from these acts only related to different kinds of intellectual property rights. So if anyone asks you, or there will be a question in the examination also, what are all the different forms of intellectual property, So you all should know there are 8 types of intellectual property. One is patents, the other one is trademarks or brands, or third is copyright, fourth is design, fifth is plant varieties, sixth is geographical indicators, trade secrets, integrated circuit or plant layout, the Circuit Layout Design Act 2000. So all these 8 types of acts have been enacted by the Indian Parliament at different years. Among all of them is the Copyright Act 1957 is the oldest. You should remember this act and the year also. There could be a question in the examination also. The Copyright Act and the years. So they may ask you match the following. So you should remember which act has been enacted which year. Patent Act 1970, Trademark 1999, Copyright 1957, Design 2000. Plant Varieties Act 2001, Geographical Indication and Goods 1999, Trade Secret. There is no specific legislative act, but it comes under the Indian Contracts Act. So they may also ask trade secret comes enacted in which year? They may give all these years except 1972. So none of them is the correct answer for trade secret. Trade secret has got no act as of now in India. It comes under the ambit of Contracts Act. But right now discussions are going on in various ministries, and also international bodies. There is a need for a trade secret act in our country as well. So discussions are going on, white papers are being prepared against and for about the trade secret. So government will review and take a call, and probably in the next couple of years we may also have a trade secret act. So we need to track these developments in the area also, trade secret act and integrated circuits. So this is very, very important slide as far as forms of intellectual property rights are concerned. So geographical indications, so we are going to teach on each one of them. I think at least 2 classes will be there. Patents, trademarks, almost 8 into 2, 16 classes minimum will be there on all these intellectual property rights. So in that process, we will try to upgrade your knowledge in these intellectual property rights. So one or two examples here. Scenario 1, IP assets does not exist. So if you have not got a IP protection for your knowledge or your brand, or your design, or your product what you are manufacturing, if you have not obtained a IP protection, what could happen is, this is the scenario which explains. A big fish eats the small fish eats further the small fish. The same way, your idea also, if it is not protected, what happens? The big companies will somehow steal your idea, copy your idea, because they have money power, muscle power. They can maneuver you and they can get the technology from you, and they can grow, they can capture the market. That is how businesses work, But if you have got a protection for your technology, what could happen? You have got a strong teeth, even you could face big companies. Protection means IP protected. Your knowledge has been protected under the different frameworks, different acts of the intellectual property right. If your product is protected under the Patent Act or the Design Act or the Copyright Act, depending upon the subject matter which it falls. If it is protected under the Copyright Act, even big companies, cannot venture to kill you, to eat you, your technology or your company. You can always resist, can fight with them because you have a strong teeth of protection which was granted by the government. That is nothing but IP protection, IP rights granted to you. You can fight with big companies saying that you cannot copy my technology, though I may be small, but if you want, you can buy my company, but you cannot copy my technology. So that is the advantage of having this IP protection. So generally we will be talking, in the next 3 months, basically the IPR cycle. IPR cycle has got 3 phases. One is the creation. So creation means creation of a new knowledge, new technology, new process, new design, new painting, new music, new movie, what you have thing, new form of an expression, what you have written as a poem, as a story, as a novel. So that is what you have created. So creation is the first phase. Second phase in the IP life cycle is the protection. That's what you need to apply to government, saying that I have created this new thing which is not in existence so far. No, I need protection for my knowledge. No, then government will examine whether whatever claim you are making is right or wrong. They also do a lot of examinations to that creation, whether this kind of knowledge is existing anywhere in the world. That is one of the conditions. Not existing, then you will get the right. The government will also examine whether similar kind of knowledge is existing anywhere in the world. Even if there is a hairline difference is there compared to the existing knowledge, one can always try to secure protection, try to get protection for that newness of your that knowledge. So the protection is also a very complex process. It's not that easy to simply dropping an application. So the examiner will examine it. He will raise 100 questions saying that no, it is not novel. Someone else is worked on it. Someone has published a paper on it. So the novelty is lost. Then you need to argue with them, saying that their process is different, their raw materials are different, their composition is different. Their ingredients are different, their conditions are different. So mine is different. That difference has to be brought out and explained to him by a patent agent or a patent attorney. So they will be the better people to argue and protect our knowledge. So it is a legal process, techno-legal, commercial aspects are involved in this. So once that is protected, grant rights are granted to you. So different IPs have got different durations of this protection. For example, patent, you will get 20 years protection. For example, trademark, I think initially they give 10 years and they will extend it after every 10 years. Of course, trademark is protected perennially, but only thing is every 10 years you have to apply for the renewal. So designs again 10 years. I think after that they give only one more 5 years or so. Thereafter you don't get that design goes to the public domain. Anyone can use it. So like that, we are also going to teach you what is the process, what is the fee, what are the forms, what is the methodology to obtain these rights. If somebody infringes, copies your knowledge IP, what kind of a civil criminal remedies are available to you. All these things will also be taught to you. Then exploitation means putting that knowledge or using that IP for generating wealth. That is what we call commercial exploitation or commercialization. Exploitation here may not be an appropriate word, but it is exploitation of the knowledge for the betterment of the society. That is what we also call commercialization. So once you have created a knowledge, you got a patent, a protection. How do you put that knowledge into use for commercial benefit? That's what we call exploitation or commercialization. For example, you have invented a pet technology. For example, recently Andhra University, the biochemistry department, one professor has invented a novel biosensor or nano biosensor for detecting a sugar in the blood at a very low level, low concentrations, and without any strip. Generally the sugar machines we use a strip. For every sample you need to put a strip and put the blood on it and put it in the sugar machine. But this professor has invented a device, a medical device, a nano biosensor, which doesn't use any strip. Without any strip, just put a drop of blood in the pot or the hole which the device has, and after that you wash that and put another blood sample, so that way there is no need of any strip to be used here, so that is a very simple, very miniaturized. One can put like a pen in your pocket, and you measure as and when you want it, and it doesn't need a strip to put the blood. So there are so many advantages are there in this. So we have filed a patent for that. Of course, patent is now pending. It is under examination. And meanwhile, some industry has shown interest. Yes, this seems to be a new technology. It has got a has a huge potential. Market is there because it is simple, easy to carry, and it doesn't require a strip. So definitely the cost of testing blood for sugar will be much cheaper. So the company has taken a risk and asked for a technology transfer. Once you have a patent, the process of taking this technology to market, is called a technology transfer or technology licensing or technology commercialization. So we have signed an agreement with them and we are transferring the technology to that startup company to establish a company to produce, that biosensors for type 2 diabetes testing, based on a university professor's research and innovation. So if you want to get a patent, it is very, very important again, examination point of view. What is the patentability criteria or what are the conditions one has to fulfill if you want to get a patent? You say I got a new idea and it can transform the world if my idea is implemented. But the examiner, the patent examiner who grants this rights to you, looks for three parameters, in your invention. What are those? Novelty, non-obviousness, or inventive step, and industrial applicability. These three parameters it should fulfill if you want to get a patent. Novelty means what? That this knowledge, what you are claiming, the new idea, what you are saying, should not have been in the public domain. Nobody should be aware of such kind of a technique or a technology or idea exists in the public domain. So once you submit an application saying that, say for example, you have developed a cell phone which you put in your pocket, no mosquito will come to you. That is a kind of an idea you have got, and you want to protect that idea, and you want to develop a technology around that. So you want to seek protection before anyone gets patent on that. So immediately what you say, I got a new idea saying that in my mobile itself, I put some kind of a electromagnetic or some kind of a wave generator, which I switch on my phone, because this vibrations what my mobile phone can create, it it's not comfortable to the mosquitoes to come to me and touch me, So that is the kind of a thing I developed. I wanted to get a patent, then you have to apply. And the patent exam office, as I told you, we have 4 offices. Depending on the region where you are, you have to file an application saying that this is my idea. I developed a technology or a tool or a service, which I developed. I put kind of an algorithm which generates that kind of waves which are not liked by the mosquito. They will not come within close to me. So that is the kind of idea you want to apply for a patent. So you write the description of the entire invention in a proper manner, explaining, what are all the pre-art. In that line, what is the existing knowledge? That is very, very important. They always compare with the existing knowledge to establish the novelty component. So you have to give yourself some examples and say that all these earlier studies or inventions have not used this kind of a microwaves or electromagnetic currents, and I am the first time, though there are some devices, but they have not used this technology. I have used this technology, which is cheaper, which is less cumbersome, simple. So you need to claim all those things. And based on that, the examiner examines with the available data across the globe, whether whatever claim you are making is true or not. Once it satisfies, yes, you put a tick mark, novelty, you are fulfilling. The second parameter is that non-obviousness, inventive step. There is a technical advancement, It should not be like a magic box, I got it, but I will not reveal it, It should not be like that. You should be able to clearly explain how you got it, what is the technology behind it, because protection is given for what you are disclosing in your patent application. So you need to clearly explain the inventive step over the existing knowledge. See, earlier someone has done a pharmaceutical product using, say, for example, 5 steps. If you want to make a product, say, paracetamol tablet, there may be using 5 steps or 6 steps to make that product. In your process, if you are able to produce the same paracetamol in 2 steps, A plus B, 1 step, B plus C is paracetamol. Someone else may, the existing knowledge is that A plus B gives rise to C, C plus D gives rise to E, E plus F gives rise to paracetamol. That means there are 6 steps involved in producing a paracetamol. In your case, you are able to produce paracetamol in 2 steps. So that is an inventive step. Because of that, there will be a cost reduction, there is a time saving, there is energy saving, there are so many benefits. All these things qualifies for an inventive step. Of course, industrial applicability. It has to be, industrial applicability has to be there. Then only you will get patent. Someone you have invented, this thing, but it has to be have an industrial application and the users, it has to be used by someone, If you invented something which has not any utility, there is no meaning for seeking a protection for it. There is no opportunity for commercial interest in that. So that's why these 3 parameters are very, very important. As I told you, 8 types of intellectual property rights and their acts, very, very important. The second point is that if you want to get a patent, of course, most of you are not science or engineering background people. Patents may not be that much relevant for you, but you should know the criteria. Same way, for each and every IP, there is a criteria. Trademark, there is a criteria. Copyright, there is a criteria. Designs, there is a criteria. So everyone should know what is the criteria for each of these intellectual properties rights to obtain those rights. So as far as patents are concerned, these are the 3 criteria. What is also very, very important is that novelty destroying elements in any invention is that you should not publish first in any of the newspapers or any YouTube channel or on conferences, or a seminars. If you publish, talk first, then file a patent, the novelty is lost, because already if you talk in a newspaper or a talk in the seminar, already come to know about it, It is already there. This knowledge is already in the public domain. So you lost that novelty component. So basically, if you want to get IP rights, not only patents, even other forms of IP rights also, you should not put in public, the idea, the knowledge, the new knowledge, what you have created or what you have conceived. So first file your IP protection application, then only you should go to media and public or conferences and talk about it. If you do that, then only you will get. Otherwise, the novelty component is lost, you will not get patent. You should not publish beforehand, before filing an application. Clear public use. It should not be public use also. Clear public knowledge also about your invention. Public should not have that kind of a knowledge, before claiming a patent rights. So you should be very, very careful. You should not reveal at all, even to your friends, about your invention, about your creative idea. They may leak it out. They may talk, or they may take pride, they may take claim in that, and they may say to the world, "I have invented it. I have discovered. I am the first person to conceive this, conceptualize this, convert this." So don't do all those things. Once you are clear about your idea, you work towards reducing that idea into practice, immediately put a patent application or IP application, either as a provisional application or a complete specification, depending upon the results what you have in your hand. So that is why our Indian father of patents, I would say, Dr. Mashelkar, what he said, he gave this mantra to all the scientists and youth of our country is that first patent, then only publish, which will lead you to make you a prosper, So he gave this mantra, patent. Madam, you are disturbing us. Please mute. So, patent, publish, prosper. This is the mantra for our economic growth. So, don't publish, then go for patent, because you lost the opportunity of filing a patent. But if you file a patent application, though it may take some time to get your patent, doesn't matter. Filing of application is most important. Once you file it, you can talk to anyone. You publish a paper on that, or you talk in a media, or you make a presentation in a conference, then you get both the rights. You get a patent right as well as a paper as an author. Then that will make you prosper in your career. So some examples I would like to give here how IP can help to progress a career. John Brooklyn lost millions of dollars because he did not patent the spreadsheet program he invented. We all use Excel, spreadsheet. It's such a wonderful program, I think without Excel, no business nowadays exists. Every business use Excel, the spreadsheet, for data compilation and such a nice tool. But somehow he could not do patent or seek protection under patent or intellectual property laws. He made it public. Then he realized its importance, but he missed that bus. As a result, he lost billions or billions of dollars. Whereas the Microsoft person, Bill Gates, without again a MS Office or MS Word, we can't run our offices, He licenses his own software, MS Word or MS Office or Excel, whatnot, all his tools, MS Office tools, There are, if somebody copies unauthorized use, you can find out and you can take them to court of law, for infringement or unauthorized use of his databases. So, had he made Dan Brooklyn, had he protected his IP, he could have made millions of dollars out of his spreadsheet program. Kodak paid 900 millions, 1 million means how much now? About 8 crores. Now, 83 rupees, I think, a dollar. So 8 crores. 8 crores means 7,200 crores. He has paid penalty for infringing on Polaroid's instant camera patent. Knowingly or unknowingly, he has used the same knowledge for which patent was granted, and Polaroid, went to the court and told the court saying that Kodak has copied my patented technology, the instant camera patent, which came probably in or when I think 1990s, late 90s. And court imposed $900 million for infringing or copying the technology. We also see in newspapers day in and day out, Samsung and Apple copies each other's patents knowingly or unknowingly, and they argue also we have not copied, this is our own invention and all. But courts will see the history, the patenting history, the patenting trends based on which they conclude whether they have really copied. They compare the technologies, they do the fingerprinting, of both the technologies, timeline wise, who has brought this technology first, who got patent, who got trademark, who got the design, protection, all these things. Based on that, they compare and conclude who has copied whose technology, and they are putting a lot of penalties on them, billions of dollars, So licensing of just 3 patents earned 150 million US dollars for Stanford University. This is very, very important for an academic institute, 150 million US dollars they earned as a license fee from one of the technology, that is gene splicing technology invented by Stanford. They licensed to so many companies across the globe. So I would like to conclude with this final slide. How IPR and GDP are correlated. Countries, as our registrar said in his opening remarks, our IP filings are not proportional to the population what we have. That is mainly because of lack of awareness, lack of teaching of IP in their early stages. Countries like Israel, such a small country, the entire country size is equal to the size of our Hyderabad city. They claim, they boost themselves as a innovative nation, because the IP, innovation, intellectual property, entrepreneurship, they teach to the students at the 6th standard level itself. Even until we complete our masters, PhDs, and working for more than 15, 20 years, till that time, we were not aware what is a startup, what is a venture capital fund, what is a risk capital fund, what is entrepreneurship. We are not aware. But in Israel, the culture of inventiveness, innovation, and entrepreneurship has been introduced in the schools, colleges at 6th standard level onwards. That is why the country now emerged as a most innovative nation in the world. Such a small country. We import several technologies from them. So the point I would like to drive here is that there is a strong correlation between intellectual property rights of the country and the GDP of the country. For example, China, US, Japan, Germany, you see the kind of IP portfolio they have and the kind of patent portfolio they have. Like China is the largest IP portfolio China has got. Rather, large number of patents have been filed in the world by China. China is a leader in patent filing. Once upon a time, they were also copycats, but rather later they turned as an innovative country because of the. Of course, initially everyone follows, imitates, Then later they become experts in that. They try to invent something new. So China is the number one country in the world with a large number of patents, followed by USA around 6.57 million lakh of patents they have been filing. And these are the two large economies. Of course, US patents are quite valuable because the kind of technologies they develop, the quality of the technologies, the quality of patents they file, highly advanced, highly innovative. That's why American patents are costly. If you published a patent is granted by a America means it's much more valuable in the world. So then similarly Japan. Japan is also their population and their economy is about 5.5 to 6 trillion US dollars and their patent portfolio is about 3 to 4 lakhs now. Similarly Germany, their GDP is about 3.86 trillion US dollars. They have a patent portfolio about 67 now about a lakh patents. India, of course, this data is a little bit old. The Indian economy size now is about 3.15 trillion US dollars, and our patent portfolio is around 66,000 patents only we have filed. So, what is important is that there is a strong relation between IP and the GDP, and that is why government of India has also been giving a lot of thrust, importance to promote IP in schools, colleges, even SMEs, big companies, universities. Unless we inculcate that kind of IP culture in our society, we can never become a global leader in technologies or in solving the problems of the humanity. So understanding IP is very, very important. I think each IP you are going to be taught and you are going to learn in subsequent classes. I would like to stop it at this point of time. And if you have any specific questions, I can answer. If not, if there is no time now, we can also think of answering subsequently also. Because we are going to stay with you for the entire semester now. I'm very happy at least a good number of people are there now. Morning when the inauguration program, I think maximum, it has gone up to only 188 or 186. But attendance might have been posted to all of you. Please take it seriously and come to us. We are sitting opposite to Vice Chancellor's office, Academic Audit Cell. If you have got any doubts, we are staying in South Campus. You are people are in South Campus. Many times, North Campus people, they find it difficult to reach out because of the distance, because of several other factors. But you people should visit our office, interact with me or my colleagues, get all the clarifications, and enrich your knowledge in the area of IP, relevant to your domain. Thank you very much and all the best. If you have any questions, please let me know through the chat box or you can ask, we'll try to answer.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaste.
I have a small doubt from a long time back, sir. I think it is the right time to clear that. Sir,
You announce your
can.
name. What is your name and which department?
My name is Manichandra, sir. I'm from Department of Political Science and Public Administration.
Very good.
Sir, we can file an IP in Chennai or some regions in India, and
Yes.
and then we can get that IPR. After we are getting that IPR, uh, in we can our invention or innovation can be protected in India itself. Then
Right.
how we can protect our IP in international platforms, and what is the agency which guaranteeing the rights of IP on international platforms?
Very good question you have raised. What we are talking about filing intellectual property rights seeking protection only in India. If you want to get protection, no, you should also remember that once patent is granted, protection is granted to you only in India. No one can use the technology in India without your permission, without taking license from you. But whereas if you don't protect this technology in other countries, it is not protected there. If you want to get protection there, you need to protect in that country also. So there are two routes available to seek protection, international conventions, One is the Paris Convention, or the other one is PCT Convention, Paris Convention. There are two conventions. One is, that is what you can, if there are countries in which you seek protection are not many, maybe one country or two countries, you can directly file there through an agent. Again, the agent should be based in that country. So if you approach any Indian patent agent, they will be having a network of agents in those countries. So they will be able to guide you to file your patent application in that country. And if you want to seek protection in large number of countries, this PCT route is the standard route. One application is sufficient to seek protection in different countries. That also there is a period within 1 year of filing your application in India, the priority date. One has to file your patent application in different countries. If you want more than 3-4 countries, you need to better to go through PCT route. The other one is convention route, where you need to file application in individual countries individually, not through PCT route. So in the PCT route, you can go through any patent agent, or the WIPO is also another organization which guides the individuals to file patent protection in different countries. You're not able to hear or what? Okay.
Sir,
So that is the process. We are going to teach you also in the subsequent classes how to protect your patent only in India, and how to protect your patent or knowledge in different countries. What are the channels? What are the conventions? All those things we are going to teach you.
Okay, sir.
Hope I am clear.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Particularly people who are preparing for civil services, this is very important for them to understand the frameworks, intellectual property regimes. Anyone else?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I am Divya Chaudhary, sir, from M.Com Department, Commerce and Management.
Okay, Divya.
Sir, actually, you will be teaching us the subject, so I'll be learning from you later on. But just I want to clear first of all that is this the new subject that you have been introducing for M.Com students, or it is already been existing, sir?
No, today is the first time we have introduced in the entire university history. IPR was never taught to arts, commerce, and management students as a mandatory credit course. If you want to get your degree, you have to pass in this subject.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Divya.
I asked because we didn't get any information earlier about this subject. Suddenly we got information today, so just I got a doubt, sir, just to clarify to my fellow students.
Good. That's what you should ask questions. You should not hesitate, even if you don't know. That means you are ignorant or innocent in that. So something comes to your mind, you should always ask. since this is the first time the course was introduced, and by the time the principal Sahib has initiated, Karmakar Sahib has retired, there must be some gaps. But the university has taken a decision not to introduce this course across all disciplines.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
There is
Sir,
one Deepak who has raised his hand, sir.
Yeah.
He might have a question. Deepak, you may ask your question.
Madam, the press release. Yeah, Deepak, please go ahead. Mr. Deepak, have you raised your hand by mistake, or you are really interested to ask some question?
I think he left, sir. I think he left. Anyone else? Do you have any other questions? Please ask, sir.
Sir, I'm Manichandra, sir, again.
Yeah.
As you said, we can get IP in other countries through convention method and some PCC method.
Yeah.
After we are getting that, after in that country also, is it that country is responsible for granting the permissions and protecting our IP rights?
Yes.
or or any other international platform is there, that means like UNSC or International Court of Justice or any other?
Ravi, would like to answer him? Ravi?
Sir, I would better, sir, I would suggest that I would ask him to wait for the class to take place. Because in the patent session,
Yeah.
in the patent session, we are going to teach exclusively on the same thing.
But
But
anyway,
quite often what we see is students get more excited and they want to learn everything in a single day. But I would suggest that, please have patience and we'll have a patent session or 2 sessions on patents exclusively to cover all your questions, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone has any questions? You can ask.
But anyway, just
Today's class.
Clarification, Ravi.
Sir.
You can explain to them, this is patent laws are territorial rights, If you got a patent protected in India, the Indian courts and Indian government has to protect. The same way, if you got a patent protected or granted in US, so the US government takes the responsibility of protecting it. If somebody infringes, you need to file a suit against them in that country. But the more details about this, as Ravi said, it will be discussed, and the subject.
All IPRs are territorial rights, sir.
Yeah. So, whichever country you got
whatever
the right.
the IPR right is, sir, whatever IPR right has been granted by the government of India, that is restricted only to the territory of India, not just territory, even the territorial waters.
Yeah.
So every country has its own IPR rights, IPR laws. There is one question in chat box, sir, from Bindu. Good evening, sir. How can we know that our idea is the newest of the kind and it doesn't exist in any other parts of the world? Is there any source to find out this, sir?
Yeah, very good question again. Wonderful question. I think Ravi, just meanwhile you can answer.
Yes, Bindu. See, for any idea, if you want to check its novelty, first if you relate it to an invention, you have to, just like how anybody starts doing the literature search before they start their own research. In the same way, you have to check the literature search, and that includes patent literature and literature. Usually, what happens is most of the researchers in university, even the technical students and the students, they only do the literature search, which covers all the journals and all these things. But they don't know how to do the patent literature search, which is what we are going in our patent practicals. How to do a patent search, how to do a search database to check whether your idea is already been disclosed or not. This is what we are going to bring it to you. And one more thing I want to bring it to all is that whatever literature search all the researchers do in the university till now, that is only 30. So they just check 30% of the literature and they arrive to the conclusion that their idea is not, which is obviously have less probability of being truly novel. More than 70% of the information is covered in the patent literature or in patent databases, where everybody files the patent application that is considered as a part of the patent literature. It contains lot of information. One single patent document will give you so much of information about your. It contains information. It contains technological information. It contains business information. Companies benefit a lot out of scrutinizing the patent information. So this is very important for all of you, for all the commerce students, for even for the art students related. There are certain subjects in IPRs like copyrights that can help you in understanding how IPRs can benefit you in your professions. So please pay attention to the IPR classes. Please be sincere, and I'm sure you will gain a lot of classes. So that's it from our side today. Is the question? Is the question?
Yeah, you asked a very important question. To file your application, to spend money on this, time on this, you should know whether your idea is novel or not. That is the process by itself. When you file your application, the patent office will examine, but before even filing also, you should also know whatever the patent office follows the process of evaluation of your idea. We can also do before submission also. So that's what we have a number of databases. You need to do basically two kinds of searches. One is the literature search, means in any of the research papers, the same idea has been talked or not. Or the other one is the patent databases, as Ravi mentioned. So these are the two sources. One is literature, the other one is patent databases and literature databases. So you need to do a search, give me the keywords of your invention, whether someone has talked or someone has published any patent or paper on the same kind of idea or not. If not, then you qualify